In this video, we are going to learn how to make these low-carb coconut shrimp, an apricot dipping glaze, and a traditional cocktail sauce. Welcome to Dit Dot. My name's Amanda. Let's get cooking. I am so excited to be making this coconut shrimp. Coconut shrimp is just one of my absolute favorite favorite meals. If it's at a restaurant on the menu, I'm often ordering it. But it's really easy to make at home, so why not, right? Especially with air fryers. So I'm gonna use my air fryer oven. If you've got an air fryer, like countertop one, do that. If you don't have an air fryer, just use convection oven or just bake them. And this is going to be a low carb version, but the only thing we're switching out really is instead of flour, we're using almond flour. So if you want to make these with flour and not have them be low carb, that is totally easy too. Just seriously, one ingredient switch. So, and then the dipping sauce will be a little different too. So I'm using this super fine almond flour, and we're going to season it with some pepper. Ooh, this is almost empty. Salt. I'm gonna put some paprika in it and some garlic powder. Kind of mix that together, kind of break up some of the almond powder clumps. In my middle one, I'm gonna crack in 2 eggs and whisk those up. I absolutely love this bread trio. If you don't have something like this, I'll put a link in my description box below to an Amazon link for it. It just makes breading so fast and just convenient. They clip together and really make it where it's less mess. I'm one of those kind of people who do not like a lot of extra things in the kitchen, but this one I've used over and over and over throughout the years. So you want to get your egg whisked up where it's not real clumpy. It needs to be whisked really well. Otherwise you'll have like little pieces of fried egg onto your shrimp. Okay, so see now when I pull it up, it just strings down. So then you know it's whisked up really well. When you do it and it still like clumps down, then keep whisking. Okay, and then in my last spot, I'm just using unsweetened coconut flakes. Now, if you aren't doing low carb, you can also do like half coconut flakes and half panko breadcrumbs. And okay, so let's talk our shrimp. I went ahead and bought the really big shrimp, but the kind of person I am, I usually buy shrimp that's on sale. So for a dish like this, you want something that's at least fairly large. You don't want something too tiny, but you know, whether or not you get these or the ones that are slightly smaller than that, it's not gonna matter. It will change your cooking time. With these big guys, they're gonna cook a little bit longer. I aimed for these pretty large shrimp. I forgot which ones they were called. They do it by pound weight. I think these were 21 per pound or something, but I'm aiming for 5 to 6 of these per person because they're pretty big. So I went ahead and peeled them, and you'll be excited to know that over my last several shrimp dishes, I have been saving the peels. So an upcoming video is going to be how to make your own shrimp stock, which is amazing. So I now have enough shrimp peels that I've been putting in my freezer so I can do that. So if you've got an air fryer, use your air fryer basket. That's totally fine. If you're using like an oven type air fryer, I've got a cookie sheet. I put some metal down just for easy cleanup. I'm using a baking rack that I'm gonna go ahead and spray to help the shrimp not stick to it. And then we're just going to easily put the shrimp down into the almond flakes or almond powder, into the egg, and cover it in coconut flour or coconut flakes. So incredibly easy. And then we're gonna carefully place it on our cookie sheet. So just rinse and repeat these quick steps until you get them all breaded up. All right, so I will be back. So I ended up putting in about double the amount of coconut flakes. It took quite a bit of coconut. 2 eggs ended up being perfect, and I also added more almond flour. I also added more almond flour about halfway through. So now that we have them all spaced out with some air to move around them, we're going to liberally spray them with some oil, and then we're going to pop them into our oven that has been preheating, or your air fryer. And you know, if you have one of the small counter ones, of course you're gonna have to do this in a couple batches, but they're pretty quick. And I'm gonna aim for 12 minutes, maybe 10
at 400 degrees.
I'm gonna keep my eye on them, and I'll probably flip them after about 5 minutes. Okay, so while our shrimp is cooking, I'm gonna make 2 sauces. I'm gonna do one that is a traditional apricot dipping sauce, but because this will be higher carbohydrates for my husband who's doing the low carb, I'm gonna also make him just a quick cocktail sauce. So just a really small bowl for my husband, and we're going to add a squirt of ketchup. Now you want to check and make sure that your ketchup is a lower sugar one. And then we're going to use some prepared horseradish and a splash of Tabasco, a drop or 2 of, maybe a teaspoon of lemon juice, and a splash. Oh, there's my, to check on it, to flip. Stop. Okay, let's check on the shrimp. Ooh, look, they're already getting pretty brown. Okay, so let's pull them out and we will flip them over. Okay, I hope they don't stick. You want to be careful because we don't want to lose our coconut. Yeah, some of it is sticking to my wire rack. I knew you're gonna lose some of it, but you wanna try to lose the least amount as possible. And that's why you wanna spray your rack before you put your shrimp down. Oh, this is looking so amazing. These are still looking pretty raw in the middle, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in for another 6 minutes. But again, just pay attention to the size of your shrimp. Okay, and back to our sauce. We are going to add a splash of Worcestershire sauce. So those are the ingredients in a standard cocktail sauce. And let's give it a taste. That's so good. I might have to steal some of that myself. Now, for the apricot sauce, it is so easy. It's just 2 ingredients, apricot jelly, and I'm making enough for me and my daughters. And then you want an acid. So a lot of times it's rice wine vinegar, but I thought it would be really yummy with lime wedges today. Oh good, these are nice and juicy because you want enough acid to be able to break that jelly up. The other thing about it is, and then sometimes like I might add like a splash of soy sauce to it too. The other thing about it, I feel the lime is like it's more of a subtle acid. So if you ever use these things, you want to put the fruit face down towards the holes, and you can either use a half of a wedge, or sometimes this would have fit, but I thought it was gonna be too big, so I cut it into quarters. So, and the point is for it to kind of flip itself out, inside out, and that gets all the juice. So there you go. Mine has seen better days. You can see some of the paint is flicking off, and I really need to replace this guy. And then we're just going to kind of mix this together. I'm gonna taste it. I'm gonna decide if I wanna add soy or not. I might need to add some lemon juice too, because I don't know if that was enough lime juice to get the right taste and consistency. But I mean, it's getting pretty good. You know what else would be really good in it? I'm gonna add some garlic. So for a sauce like this, you're gonna wanna use fresh garlic if you're gonna use garlic. I mean, you can use powdered, that's fine. But when I'm doing like dressings and sauces, I tend to prefer fresh garlic. And you know, it's raw, so we're not gonna need that much. Ginger would also be really good in here too. But I just want it to taste something like that's not just plain apricot jelly. Oh, that garlic punches it up. That was so good. Okay, just that much made it kind of a little spicy in a good way. But I feel like it's still missing something. I think it needs a little bit more of the acid. You know what? I think I am gonna go with rice wine vinegar. Y'all know I don't cook with recipes. I kind of just go off the, off the cuff, kind of make things up as I go, taste as I go, figure it out. And it's all about learning to cook to your preferences and what tastes good to you. Needs to be a little bit sweeter or sour, Oh, see? So good. Okay, I cannot wait for the shrimp to be done. I've got some roasted vegetables to go along with this dish. We'll plate it up and give it a taste. Okay, here it is out of the oven. And I'm gonna zoom in and take a good look at it. You can see the part of the shrimp that is poking through the coconut. It's white, it's got a firm texture. And if you want to kind of look between like the crease here where it would be butterflied open, and if it's still kind of glossy looking or raw, you would know you need to cook it a little bit longer. Also at the tail end, it's nice and pink. So these shrimp are looking all the way cooked through, and I cannot wait to taste one. Okay, so I've just got one right here to taste real quick, and then my vegetables should be done soon, and I'm gonna plate up and call the dinner down for family. I'm gonna call the family down for dinner time. But let's see if we've got a good flavor on this shrimp. So, so good. I am in a happy place. Oh my gosh. This tastes just like an appetizer you would get at a fancy restaurant. 10 out of 10. I am so happy. Yum. Okay. I have a feeling this one is going to be a big hit tonight. It's one I need to put on the menu more often. It really doesn't take very long to cook. Sometimes I get in my head, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do the breading process, but honestly, it's not that bad. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. It helps me grow the channel. And I love bringing content and visiting with y'all. So also write down in the comments, tell me what is your favorite way to eat shrimp. And if you're not a seafood eater, that's okay. I'll forgive you. Until the next video, bye.